We're going to be studying the Beatitudes, 4 of them this morning, 4 next Sunday, and I've written a children's book on the Beatitudes, and if you have an elementary school child or grandchild, you might want to take them through the same material that we're going through. It's called O. Willikers and the Hall of Champions, and it's about the portraits that hang in B. and Attitudes Hall of Champions. Whenever you see little Stevie Stop Scallop, you want to stop and answer the questions. A couple of the characters are a marlin named Hugh Mills, and Hugh, through his adventures, gets the award for being the most humble fish in the grotto. And if he'd put it on, then of course they would have had to taken it off. So he took it home and put it on his wall. And that's where he enjoys it, and no one else feels bad because they don't have it. Then there's Rapon Preston Tance, a British porpoise with a purpose. Kids call him Rippy. He does some bad things and gets some holes in his character. You can see that when you look in a mirror. But he gets things right ultimately, and he takes a stand against his old friends and stops the bullying against Wally Walrus. And he goes and talks to the folks that he's wronged and says, I'm sorry, makes it as right as he can, and talks to the fishmaker about it too, and gets, well, notice, no holes in his character. And from Rippy Tance, we get the word repentance. That's right. And others, Jim Teal is a moray eel. We'll get the word gentle. Twin Samoan stingrays, tis no hui to Dewey right, and his brother Me Tui to Dewey right. The to do right brothers. You'll find Harvey Mertzy, have mercy. Toad Lee Perhart, Asian toad who has a totally pure heart, and Peasmacher, German shark, peacemaker, and Percy QT Cod, persecuted. That's where the words came from. You probably didn't know that, but that's the origins of them. You can find the book at jcarty.com. It's a PDF file. It's free online. Just take your kids through it, and if you like it or don't like it, send me an email. Tell me why. We're going to talk about the Beatitudes, and the Beatitudes are a lot like Old Testament law in that the Beatitudes and Old Testament law show us how short we come from what God intends for us. With that in mind, I'm going to talk about justice, mercy, and grace for just a few moments. Justice, getting what you deserve. Mercy, not getting all you deserve. And grace, getting something you don't deserve at all. Imagine, if you possibly can, I'm a star high school basketball player. I'm out with this young lady. 10 o'clock is curfew. If I break curfew, I have to run 20 laps. That's the deal. I'd like to kiss this young lady goodnight. I think she wants to kiss me goodnight, but we need a little more time. I have a decision to make. I show up at practice the next day, and coach says, Carty, judging by the smile on your face, you broke curfew last night. I said, yes, sir, I did. He said, well, don't stand here talking to me. Start running. I got what I deserved. Now, who made the rules? It's just you and me here this morning, or what? Who made the rules? Who broke the rules? Who decided I'd run 20 laps? Coach made the rules. When I broke the rules, I chose to endure the penalty. Don't lose sight of that. I've run 10 of my laps, and the coach says, Carty, how many laps have you run? I said, 10, sir. He said, how many you got to go? I'm thinking, he's not a math major. 10, sir. He said, sit down. You don't have to run the other 10. Now that's mercy. I didn't get all I deserved. Grace is something different. Carty, did you break curfew? Yeah, I did. Well, let's see. Sit down. I'll run your laps for you. Now, I've played a lot of basketball for a lot of coaches over a lot of years, and I can tell you that not one of them ever entertained that thought. But you do understand that while we were yet sinners, Christ ran our laps for us. And we didn't do anything to deserve that. That's just grace, getting something that we don't deserve at all. Now, don't ever get pious and say, oh, God, give me what I got coming to me. You don't want justice. You see, God made some rules. He said, don't do that and do this. And when you decided to go ahead and do what you shouldn't do, and you decided to not do what you should do, then you played God. And God said, I'll have no other gods before me, and you'll get justice. You see, justice is separation from God. When we die, there's heaven, there's hell. And God doesn't send you to hell. He just made the rules. We broke them. You don't want justice. Mercy's a little different. You don't run 10 laps in hell and get out for the other 10. That's not the way it works. But here's how it works. If you don't know Christ, you've got a little more time. Unless you have a heart attack in the next hour, you've got at least till when Nate gives you an altar call, a chance to receive Christ. Now, if you have a heart attack between now and then, you're on your own. Just quick, come to Christ. But you've got a little more time. I don't know how much time. You have the rest of your life, however it is, to figure out how to solve the problem of eternity. And mercy is time. Because you're currently not getting what you deserve. He's giving you time to find grace. And grace, well, we've all sinned, come short of the glory of God. The wages of sin is death, separation from God. And if you confess with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart, God raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. You've got some time to do that. Take advantage of it. You want to appropriate grace. You don't want to have to deal with justice.